Throughout the last 5 years, Gen Z has shown the world that they are the most modern generation to ever walk the earth and have developed their very own culture to go along with that. But despite them being so different from everyone else, one thing connects them with the baby boomers and millennials more than anything, and that is luxury watches. You may not know what I mean right now, but I promise by the end of the video, your eyes will be wide open, and if you're a watch enthusiast like myself, this video will change the way you look at the watch market as a whole. To fully understand how we got to this point though, we need to go deep into what makes Gen Z the way it is, and why luxury watches are so intriguing to them. All of these things start with one very large variable, and that is social media. In recent years, social media has seen the biggest uptick in users than ever before, with a majority of those new users being in Gen Z. Just a few weeks ago, I made a video about the entire history of Rolex, and one of the key aspects of that video was highlighting the marketing that propelled Rolex to the throne of watchmaking. The reason that is so important in this video is because social media and Gen Z is all about marketing. What we know about this young generation is that they absolutely love things that are trendy, timeless, and have a good brand identity. This is precisely why luxury watches are the perfect accessory for Gen Z. Through social media, luxury watches have been amplified like never before. From the time of the pandemic to now, social media has been the #1 tool used to showcase, market, and sell luxury watches. This means that Gen Z is seeing all of that on a daily basis, which only makes them want these pieces more. Rolex, Patek, Cartier, and AP are all status symbols of the successful and wealthy, which are the people that Gen Z aspires to be. Guys like Iman Gadzhi, Luke Belmar, Jordan Welch, and Andrew Tate, and some of the most famous athletes and rappers all have insane luxury watch collections that are showcased to the entire world. In this generation, where success and wealth are what a majority of Gen Z is going for, luxury watches become a key component of that. Gen Z loves the idea of buying a luxury watch and instantly posting it on social media for the entire world to admire and see. Through the marketing of Rolex and the other brands all over social media, and the Diamond District becoming the most entertaining street in America, luxury timepieces have taken over social media and Gen Z with it. So for us to understand why in fact social media and luxury watches became linked so closely together in the first place, we need to take a trip down memory lane. The year was 2020, the month was March, and in the blink of an eye, the entire world shut down because of some strange sickness that no doctor could cure, and millions of people were suffering from it. In a matter of a few weeks, the watch market and the watchmakers completely shut down. Sales associates, watchmakers, factory workers, executives were all laid off for almost every single watch brand in the world, with stores and ADs closed at a moment's notice. Secondary market stores were forced to close all across the country, and suddenly Diamond District was quiet every day of the week. This abrupt shutdown caused people to adapt like never before. Masks were required everywhere you went, and home life became the center of people's lifestyle. Since any sort of watch club or high-end club wasn't open at the time, watch enthusiasts took to social media to share their collections with the world and make content surrounding luxury timepieces similar to the video you're watching right now. And if you're enjoying this video, be sure to subscribe to my channel to never miss one of my videos, as I put a lot of time and effort to be able to make these videos the best that they can be. So now that watch communities were becoming digitalized, so was the watch market. Chrono24, eBay, and other watch resale marketplaces saw major upticks in user numbers during the pandemic. With that, the watch companies had to figure out a way to sell luxury timepieces while evading the pandemic. This is why you saw Rolex and Audemars Piguet boutiques with pandemic-style cases and experiences. Many videos were documented on YouTube on what it was like to shop at a Rolex AD during the pandemic. For example, there was always a glass screen between you and the sales associate, and every watch had to be taken out by them to ensure safety. It was truly a crazy time, with some insane measures carried out by Rolex to make sure that nobody got sick, but nevertheless, they had to sell watches, right? Because it was getting harder and harder to acquire Rolex watches since all of their employees were furloughed, the demand for Rolex pieces increased as the supply went down. This is when we saw the waitlist hit its absolute worst. Something like the Rolex waitlist, which seems annoying to some, was Gen Z's calling to start buying luxury watches. Just like I mentioned earlier, Gen Z absolutely loves things that are hard to attain that can be flashed all over social media for their friends to see. And now that Rolex watches were hard to attain and still looked incredible, Gen Z gravitated towards that. Rolex is really the company that started the Gen Z luxury watch crave, and their wealth influencers only made that stronger. You may ask what I mean by the wealth influencers, and I promise you, when you hear what they did to help the watch market, you'll never view them the same. When you think of a wealth influencer, Andrew Tate, Iman Gadzhi, Jordan Welch, and Luke Belmar might be some of the creators that come to mind. I'm sure you'll remember that during the pandemic, guys like Andrew Tate, Iman Gadzhi, and the rest of the wealth or success influencers really started to become popular. They sold courses and shared information all over social media on how to get rich in today's society. Since everyone thought the world was coming to an end during the pandemic, they stressed that the time was now to build wealth and take your family out of poverty, just as they did. Through their YouTube videos and courses, they really started to become popular throughout the Gen Z community, with many of the people who followed them also becoming wealth influencers themselves. If you just go on YouTube after this video and look up how to get rich, you'll probably find a multitude of creators posting videos with a luxury watch on their wrist. This is a very small but very important detail that goes into every single wealth or success influencer. They might have not even realized it, but just them wearing a luxury watch in the video showed the rest of the world what success truly meant. It wasn't just cars, houses, and vacations, but having a luxury watch to get into certain communities of other people with success and wealth meant the world to Gen Z. Within 6 to 8 months of these creators becoming popular and the pandemic going on, they were posting their luxury watch collections all over social media for everyone to admire. Like I said earlier, the more that the mainstream wealth influencers posted, the more wealth influencers were created in the process. With more people, more money comes from luxury watch purchasing and showcasing. By the end of the pandemic, pretty much everyone in Gen Z could tell you what Patek Philippe, Rolex, and Audemars Piguet were, since they were becoming synonymous with success during the pandemic. Everyone wants a Rolex on their wrist to show their status and success, and the best of all, a Rolex is not easy to get, which makes it a rare and desirable item. Gen Z fell in love with the idea of luxury, elegant, and hard to get timepieces that they could essentially flex on everyone else with. As rappers and professional athletes got more into luxury watches themselves, it wasn't long before every single person in Gen Z was into luxury timepieces in some way, shape, or form. All of it started in the pandemic, and through the pandemic, the wealth influencers reshaped the way people view luxury watches. They stressed to the Gen Z community how important getting a nice watch was for your public image and respect in the business world, and Gen Z listened. If you couldn't already tell, all of these experiences through social media and the pandemic have shaped Gen Z to be the most consuming luxury watch generation of all time. With them being responsible for more sales out of any generation, the social media revolution paired with Gen Z just loving luxury items in general has shaped an entirely new situation for the watch market. Everyone thought that since Gen Z is all about modern things and technology, luxury watch brands wouldn't last all that much longer, but now they're thriving more than ever before. So to answer the question in the title, why does Gen Z love luxury watches so much? We can refer to social media, the pandemic, and the unique drive Gen Z has to make a lot of money and build generational wealth. Luxury watches have been a thing almost always reserved for individuals with a lot of financial success, and Gen Z wants to look like them, live like them, and be like them as much as possible. So thanks to guys like Andrew Tate and Iman Gadzhi, luxury watches are now cool for everyone, not just dads and grandpas. Now that an entire generation is hooked on these luxury timepieces, the sales are surely going to increase, and they already have. Gen Z is responsible for more consumption of luxury watches than any other generation alive right now, and that figure is going to continue to go up and up. As these brands continue to make high demand, low supply pieces with their perfect marketing, Gen Z will always come to buy. They just can't help but crave the feeling of an AP or Rolex on their wrist, knowing the messages that it sends to everyone around them. and the feeling when they get thousands of likes on social media for having such a nice watch. At the end of the day, a watch can mean many different things for many different people, and that's what makes them so unique and why we love them so much. It's personal, almost like a relationship. Everyone has their own taste and preference, and everyone is able to respect that. Gen Z is paving the way for the watch market, not only by purchasing, but by selling as well. Young guys in the Diamond District have blown up on YouTube and Instagram just by selling luxury watches and jewelry in fast-paced, entertaining ways. You see them skyrocket in followers and net worth simply because Gen Z absolutely loves watching them and buying from them. All in all, it fuels the watch market forward, which is definitely something that is needed right now. We should be thankful that social media is what it is, and that it's been used to promote horology and luxury watches, pretty similar to the video you're watching right now. If you enjoyed, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss one of my uploads. I'm going to be posting a lot more on this channel over the next few weeks, so be on the lookout for that. Comment what you think is the coolest watch you've seen on social media recently, and with that, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!